So what's the most important thing when we are making recipes? Well, it's the ingredients. And today I'm here to talk about some ingredients which we don't see anymore. And who better than Odette? So this is Tête-à-Tea with Odette once again. Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers, Aditi.
Yes,
All right.
Odette.
So it's on ingredients.
It's on ingredients, and not just any ingredients, but the ingredients that are lost, which we don't see anymore. So tell me
Number
some of
one,
them. Yeah.
oh, there are lots.
There are lots.
There are lots.
That's
It's more than
surprising.
what I can count on my hand. Some completely lost from oblivion. You don't find them in the markets
Okay.
unless you go deep interiors or to the place where
Okay.
it's actually done. And the others very minimal in terms of availability, especially when so many restaurants are there and there are so many tourists potential for showcasing our food.
Yeah.
So that creates a lot of issues. Most important one, grew up on a very interesting healthy dish called kanji.
Ganji,
Pez. They call it
which
pez.
is the fermented rice.
It's not fermented, it's a thick rice.
Rice.
Special rice
Uh-huh.
called korgut rice,
Okay.
which used to be harvested in Goa,
Uh-huh.
and we used to keep it at the back of the storehouses. And whenever we need it for a rainy day or if somebody was sick,
Yeah.
we would get it out and we would make it, and it was the most nourishing, super preparation with a little bit of pickle or maybe with one dry fish or whatever it is.
Like a porridge.
Like
right?
they're honking to tell us that we are right at the background. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really slurpy. Not a porridge, like really slurpy. And one bowl at home, or if someone was working in the fields, they would carry it with them at 11 o'clock to have it, because it was hard work working in the fields.
So energy, carbs.
Energy, nourishing, etc.
Yeah. So
Number
it's
one.
gone.
We are actually getting Jyoti rice from Kerala.
That's
Seriously,
so weird.
seriously, because
That's so
we can't
weird.
get enough. We can't get enough. It's very minimal in terms of our yield which we're getting.
Right.
The second one I can think of again, which is very close to my heart, is mangoes.
I agree. This I have seen in 10 years of my staying in Goa, that mangoes are disappearing, and also like it is becoming so expensive for us people who are living here.
I
mean,
know,
it's
okay,
so
we are a
crazy.
tourism place and the rates are going high and all that, but just imagine, we had 80 varieties just
of
3
mangoes,
decades ago.
Yeah,
Today you won't find more than 30, 32.
My goodness.
And these
That
were
also, but
specially
don't you think that
harvested.
most of them are going out rather than
No, we're only
staying
talking
also
about the
in the States?
Mancuras and the Alfonsos. There
Yeah,
were
correct.
all varieties. The Portuguese grafted them, gave it to the concerned homes. They were named also after the people who were living there.
Wow.
Fernando and this and that. Yes.
Yeah?
It was.
That's so
It
interesting.
was.
Wow.
And they used to grow it in their backyards. And that's how we had the different varieties, because the grafting techniques of the Portuguese were super.
Superb, yeah.
Lost.
All lost. Wow.
Now, very important, in a way I'm happy that we have got the GI index for the Harmal and the Kola chilies or Kankan chilies. But when it comes to the Aldona chimisang and the Butao chilies, which were basically so important for Catholic food, and which the Muslims used to grind into a red chili powder,
not to be found.
Not to be found.
Okay. So is there any particular ingredients that's like completely extinct, or is it become like rare to find?
I would say more rare, because there are a few families in Goa who still
do it,
manage to, you know, whether they have their contacts with the people who do it and all that, small bodies. But when you're talking about this area of Goa, which is the northern belt, in the southern belt you'll find a lot of people who genuinely go back to their roots. But in the northern, everything has become so cosmopolitan that the supply and demand does not really exist. Now let's take a very important, which used to be a very important thing, was called sur, which was toddy from the trees. Now that was used to make toddy vinegar. Today we are getting commercial vinegar, and I add that to the vindaloo and expect it to taste the same.
Yeah. Right.
We don't get
But I mean, what's the core reason of all these? I mean, is it availability purely, or is it awareness that now people are not aware of the techniques of going that produce and all that.
It's more
I
not
mean,
the awareness. It was not a toddy.
yeah,
It was a very, very dangerous job to climb up
correct.
the
The
trees
trees and
and do it.
get
And
yeah,
5 o'clock in the morning,
yeah.
that was used to be there. They were called the reindeers, the
Hmm.
ones who used to climb up. And now, of course, we have given people mechanical
Things to
things to
yeah.
do it, but still not many people are taking it on. We have
So it's
become,
basically nobody's taking those pains to. So it's
we
going
have the
by the
coconut
easy
trees.
way out and using commercial things, because I'm very sure that today, if you look at, and I'm very sure that I can't give a percentage, but most of the restaurants would also be using the ready-made chili powders that we
You
get.
bet. And
I mean,
that's very bad. I'll tell you
you know,
why. Because in a red chili powder, you don't know what the mix
mixes it
is.
basically brick.
Or you want to make it like bricks now. They're
It
going
is
to shoot you.
actually, it is a lot of brick powder.
Okay,
It is
brick. I'm
because
thinking about the bricks
no, no, no. It's
nations.
actually the brick powder. There is a lot of mixing of the
Oh
red
my
brick
God.
powder, because it's
Adulteration.
that is so much of adulteration in the red chili
Which
powder.
again comes to,
Yeah,
in the olden days, they used to have the halad growing in the back gardens and they used to keep on
keep on
pounding it and
pounding it.
have
Yeah,
fresh,
yeah.
that
Chilies.
that organic haldi that used to get, the
Yeah,
color used to be like golden yellow.
golden yellow. Yeah.
Not today what
Today
we,
is, I mean, you basically the colors don't leave your hands because they are colors. They are not spices anymore. They're
no
literally
wonder a
colors.
lot of us are falling sick, Aditi. We're not really thought about that. We are taking in such adulterated
Because I
things.
think, I don't think that we can also kind of get deeply into this, because I think we are just surrounded by it in every which way. So how many things of adulteration will we find? Because like I'm telling you that red chilies is red brick powder, turmeric could be something else, and it's basically all colors. We are just having chemicals day in day out. So I
Go to
mean,
those old days. Again, I feel like crying because health.
yeah,
Okay,
correct.
monsoons in Goa, there used to be healthy greens only growing
Only
during the
yeah,
monsoons.
yeah,
The aluro, the takilo, all those, they sprout up like
yeah.
weeds, but
Weeds.
actually they're really good for cooking in the
Yeah,
kitchens.
yeah.
Nobody does it nowadays. And the aluro grows bright green on the roadside whenever there's no buildings or
No
cemented
building. Yeah, yeah.
spaces. And people used to just go and pluck it
Pluck
out
it.
and make it out with corn. Wow, what a fantastic preparation. We
But
normally eat
nobody is
butta
doing it
plain. You
now.
just imagine, put those pieces of corn inside that and make that dishes out of the world. That is another one. I really feel like crying when I think about. I can go on and on
Yeah,
and on, but how can we manage to retain our traditions,
yeah.
our cultural identity, where food is concerned,
Correct.
unless we really now get back to basics?
True. It's
And
always, I think, about the basics only, which over a period of time we start forgetting, because I think we just overcomplicate our lives and get into too many processes and systems, but we forget the basics.
it doesn't make sense to me,
Yeah.
because I always talk about this. They used to have the Puramentache Fest, which was
Hmm.
always there before monsoons. And coming to that, another thing which is slowly dying is the salted fish, which we used to
Hmm.
get. They used to have the mackerels. They used to have the Bombay duck. Of course, Bombay duck was an added
Yeah.
thing, but they had the mackerels. They had not the tuna, the other fish, bombil, all
Shona
these things
thing.
which are dried up, and it
Hmm.
was such a fantastic thing to have during the monsoons. Now today, when you go to these markets for
Local
the
market.
Puramentache Fest, very rare do we find. And dried prawns, again, dried prawns, which you used to put with all the vegetables, so it gives you that certain fishy flavor, because we Goans can
Yeah.
do not do without fish.
Not
That itself is an issue to get.
my goodness. But do you think, like, with the kind of research that you have done and you have literally gone on ground and spoken to so many people, do you think is there any future that these things will ever come back, or are they like from becoming rare, they are going towards being extinct?
Recently I did a panel discussion on the cashew apple.
Yeah.
Hmm? It was a very interesting thing for me, which I was moderating, because I had very learned chefs on board. And one thing I found out that our grandmothers had not done many dishes with a cashew apple.
Hmm.
But when I brought up this topic about using inspired preparations, even in the Goan
Go on.
gravies,
Yeah.
so many ideas came. Can you ever think about a cashew apple vindaloo?
I just recently had a cashew apple shakuti.
Okay, there you are. And did it not taste good?
It did. In fact, I could not tell the difference. It was like, a regular shakuti flavor
Yeah,
that
when
we
Joe took
get,
a bite, he
yeah.
thought he was eating
No,
pork fat.
I actually quite liked it because I really could not even
No,
tell
you
the
can't.
difference between, being a veg shakuti or a non-veg one. It
I
was
believe in
that
that.
good, yeah.
Now, the ICAR, which is the body that does a lot of research on these
Yeah.
things, they happen to be sitting in the audience, and they have been doing a lot of work. And they said even with the cashew apple, they make little candies out of it,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
we just love our sweets. Just imagine if we can, and they have a long retention power. Then they were talking about, you can make a cashew apple chutney from the leftover of the
So I'll
apple.
add one more thing. I had a cashew apple salsa also.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
It's yummy, huh?
It's
The
yummy.
tangy flavor.
Yeah, exactly. And it balances so well. And
It,
sometimes, you just kind of don't even know that what an ingredient can do. I mean, when you start using it and be a little innovative and experimental, and I think it can do wonders. But I
mm,
think there's a bit of lack of awareness or hesitation, or I don't know what, that people don't even use it. I mean, despite being having such fancy restaurants and
and say, I love to
chefs
cook.
and all that, yeah, who love to cook, who love to go back to their grandmother's recipes and pick things. Even they don't pick these ingredients and experiment much with them. So I think there
We've
is a lot
lost it.
that can be done.
Like in my previous sessions which I had with you, I
Yeah,
said recipes are not the main to do. You have to have that ingredient talking to you.
correct.
So if somebody goes and makes that cashew apple salsa, and again, cashew apples are nothing, luckily for us, trainees on board, but
Yeah,
it just used to be thrown
thrown
around.
away.
And I'm sure the locals have not even got a chance to eat the
Eat
apple.
it.
So this is another thing also gets lost in our kitchens. So if you go by a tried and tested recipe, maybe nobody has ever worked on it before,
Hmm.
and then you're bogged down with an ingredient and you do not know what to do
What to
with
do
that
with it?
ingredient. But if you sit with that ingredient and say, oh, it goes well because of the tangy finish, it goes well with mayonnaise, it goes well. Somebody told me you can have a cashew apple wrap with chicken pieces
I'm sure.
and mayonnaise. Just
Cashew apple has a lot. It's an ingredient that we should
have to
definitely talk
find it. But
separately
we have to
about.
find it
We
first.
have to find it, but we will talk about it separately because I think it deserves a place of its own.
It does.
It
It
has
does.
so much, and now
Potential.
it has so
Lot
much
of
of potential
potential.
and can do wonders. So that's a separate thing. But do you really think that there is any way that these lost ingredients can come back?
It can. It can. We have to understand that God has given us fertile land to till. Food, it should be at the top of our
Correct. Yeah.
priorities. And the way the youngsters today think more in terms of converting it into real estate, and
True. If everyone thinks that way, then I mean,
then there'll
God,
be no
then
food
there will be
left.
no food. And why? I don't know. We don't think about that. And in fact, that makes me wonder that there was a time when I was working in rural, and this was some 12, 15 years ago. And at that time, we used to talk about youngsters not taking up farming. Despite now, farming is much easier than the
Before.
olden days because that
Machinery.
really meant hard work, that literally meant toiling in sun. But now there is so much of machinery, so much of technology that can be used. And yet, we are not looking in, we are always looking outwards, looking at,
We want a
all
quick
those
and
things.
easy
Quick
life.
and easy life, true. But if everyone takes that quick and easy
No
life, then how
food.
will we eat?
No food
So
on the
like,
table.
yeah, no food on the table, and otherwise we will be, I think, eating just synthetic food. We will be eating food which will also be made, not cultivated, but somehow made. So we are going in that direction, which is very sad, and I
I
think,
was reading the other day that 1962 or 63, India had a famine.
yeah,
And people then came to know the value of food. And after that, when the wheat was sent
yes,
in here and Punjab did so well and all
yeah,
these places did so well, farming can also make a person well settled in terms where the
absolutely,
monetary is concerned.
absolutely. It's a very sad thing because I've worked, like I said, rural very closely, and I was working in Punjab and UP, the belts which are very rich in
Hmm.
terms of farming. It was so sad to see that those very people, they go to Canada, they do farming. You
But
know,
not in
they
their
buy
own home.
imported tractors there. They were using John Deere there, and I was working for Mahindra tractors at that time. And it is so sad to see that a person sitting in Canada would advise a person here that buy, you know, a John Deere tractor and do the farming, while he himself has gone there and doing the farming, but not in India, not in his own homeland. So that was a very ironical thing to see and a very
I
sad
wonder
thing to
why.
see. I don't know why.
Is it because from the top we don't drill down the idea, or maybe it's our schooling, or maybe
Yeah, because I think farming is looked down upon as a career choice, as something that which is very important. But I think it is somewhere, you know, growing food is not as exquisite as selling food. So, you know, being a restaurateur on this side is more appealing to people than growing food.
well,
So,
interestingly, the farmers in Kolhapur pick up their sugar cane in a Mercedes Benz.
I've seen that. I went to a potato farmer and he was supplying directly to Lay's. He had a farmhouse to be jealous of. He was literally in BMWs and Audis and everything. He had so much money. He didn't look like a farmer, you know.
So
But
I think maybe
yeah, so
we
I
have
think it's his
this.
perception is built very wrongly,
So
and
if
people
this
don't. Yeah,
perception is slowly wiped out,
yeah.
Aditi, I think that all those old things are slowly going to come back.
This is why we converse. This is why we talk so that it reaches to you and maybe, you know, tickles your brain a bit and people
Anyway,
start thinking a little
cheers to
differently. So
that.
cheers to
Cheers
that,
to
and
that.
we'll see you in the next one. See you.